Ahoy, hoy, Pancasters. I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to episode 30 of That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly digest of all Star Wars news. I've got a little flappy bit on my thing. I thought it was a hair then, but then it's at the front. It couldn't be a hair.
Eyebrow hair.
It's probably how I get them. Yes, everything you need to know about Star Wars all wraps up in one weekly dose of all your Star Wars news. This time only, it's going to be slightly shorter. We're just going to have a little run through of all the bits and pieces that happened at Star Wars Celebration.
Absolutely.
What do you want to say?
Well, I will say it's been a lot's happened over the Star Wars Celebrations. Not least, they did drop the trailer. I'm going to bring that right up now because we did our trailer breakdown last night.
Yes, so we don't really need to go into what the trailer is.
No, exactly.
We've got a whole video, a 30-minute video talking about that. Now, what I will say about... I watched quite a lot of it on the live stream.
Yeah.
So... I'm in the position that I think a lot of people were in the position in America last year. Yeah. Where but now I've experienced it because we went to London last year. So I know what it's like to wander around and all of that kind of stuff. Overall, I still feel like it was probably on par with last year in regards that I was a little bit let down with some of the information that was released.
Well, if you...
or lack of.
I've read reviews of people in the industry who were invited and were guests and everything, and they've said it was okay. At best, it's come out as being okay. They've said the last two celebrations have seemed to be a little bit lackluster. One reviewer has put it that they felt it represented a giant Star Wars flea market.
That I can imagine. Yeah, everywhere. That I can imagine. And also, and look, you've only got to look in this room to know how much we love Star Wars. There are parts of it that almost feels like, and to me and to other people, it is a religion. Yeah. But it felt like it was like a religious seminar. Right, yeah. Because they would sort of say, "Wait, how much do we all love Star Wars?" And they'd be going like this and making people go, "Woo!" Yeah, yeah. And that was the bit that if you are watching it, I think if you're in the room,
it's part of the buzz,
it's fantastic. If you're watching it from home and you're just sat in your chair and watching it...
Did you whoop?
I didn't whoop. I whooped during the 40th anniversary
which we'll get into
panel.
In a second.
But overall, when you're watching, the StarWars.com stage is good, and they've always got to fill their time, so they're talking to people. But it sometimes feel a little bit like, because the thing is that they're like, and I hate seeing it on TV programs that you see in the corner just off of screen, but you can just see him, the warm-up guy, telling the crowd when to clap and when to cheer. And I think if I hadn't been to a celebration, I would be really down on it. But I know that being there is a completely different experience to watching it on a live stream.
Absolutely.
You can watch more, you can get to more and see more on the live stream. Yeah. Because...
there's so much going on, isn't
there? You're spending probably a third of your day, if you're lucky, just in a queue.
Exactly.
To get your wristbands and then in a queue for that panel. So I'm glad that we've done it. I'm glad we've been to one. But I was left, apart from the two main panels, which we will talk about, I felt a little bit sort of, was that it? Because you kept thinking... and I thought they're not going to give us any meaty bits of information. No. Apart from what we'd already seen.
I suspected it. I don't know why. Yeah. I made it sort of my suspicions clear.
But I think isn't that what we do as Star Wars fans? Yeah. We start going, well, Hayden Christensen's there, so that means they're going to announce that he's in The Last Jedi, and then obviously Ewan McGregor's going to be there, so it's going to be a Kenobi movie.
There, was he?
He wasn't there, and somebody did on something I was listening to. They did put out a good point that okay, even if Ewan McGregor wasn't going to be there, because I think from what someone was saying is that he's doing like a Fargo tour at the moment to publicise that
because he's in Series 3 of that.
But they managed to get Samuel L. Jackson. And Liam Neeson to both do video messages. Yeah. And it wasn't like it was properly filmed.
No, they sent it themselves.
It was just on his phone because you see him reach and press for the off button. Yeah. So could he have just done a quick message? I can understand also that he's not there because all he would have been doing was fielding questions of, is there going to be a Obi-Wan movie?
Yeah.
So,
but they do know what they're doing. They're masters of planning these sort of things.
They do, and I think they let the fans just run amok. I think let them just speculate what it's going to be, and we won't worry about it.
Well, that leads us nicely into the very first little bit, which is the 40th anniversary panel. That was probably the first big panel. That was
the best panel.
Yeah, and I've watched that now. It's sweet. When George Lucas comes out, let's start from there. It feels like Star Wars is home, isn't it? And
that was the first whoop moment, and that was the first moment. Well, before that, they did a short video showing kids and that. It's all very well edited together, along with like behind the scenes footage and stuff like that. Yeah. That's when I started getting emotional, and I thought, this is where I would love to be in that room. And then when they announced George Lucas again, you want to be in that room because they're those moments, and they showed on the final, what do they call it? What do they call the final one? The like the closing down ceremony.
The closing ceremony.
Yeah, the closing ceremony. They showed some of the crowd during that, and there's like floods of tears, you know. So that was one of those moments.
And then obviously Harrison Ford came out. I mean,
fantastic.
We'll just gloss over that because I mean there was no sort of real revelations in news or anything like that. It was a lovely celebration. I was just going to say John Williams was probably a masterstroke doing that. That would have been unbelievable. Well, when that curtain, if you want to call it, goes up. And
I think because it was. I mean, I don't know. Again, Warwick Davis said that backstage, when the Carrie Fisher tribute was going on, that finished, and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford were backstage as well. They didn't know that John Williams was actually there live. Oh. So they started walking away as if they were going to go and leave. And all of a sudden the music started, and they could see like on a monitor, and they thought it was being piped in from somewhere else. Yeah. Until somebody stopped and told them that, no, actually, John Williams is here. And they thought, oh my God. And so they stayed. But that was a masterstroke because, I mean, now you think to yourself, well, of course he's going to be there. Why wouldn't he be there? Because
it's one of those things you don't think. No. You don't think that he would be there.
You wouldn't.
But he's integral to Star Wars as anybody.
As much as George Lucas, I would say.
Because that theme is iconic. Star Wars. Yeah. So that was beautiful. And then I just wanted to say on that 40th panel was Billie Lourd coming out and talking about her mum. Doing all of that was lovely.
It was fantastic.
Beautiful, and it was so well presented and done. It was such a fitting tribute.
And the thing is like one thing about Harrison Ford that you know, he's got this image as being a bit of a gruff and a bit sort of very low energy. And everyone said, well, yeah, the reason that he's all high energy and up for it last year, the year before for Force Awakens is because it's his last time. Yeah. And he's not going to do it again. But I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was playful. He was funny. He took the joke that Warwick Davis said about him in landing his plane on the freeway. I thought he was fantastic. Yeah. And I'll come. Move on because I want to talk about Mark Hamill a little bit.
Yeah, I was just going to come on to. Might as well go on to another panel they did, which was the tribute to Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
I watched that and I thought that was a beautiful tribute, and I don't know what else can be said that's already been said, to be fair. No. We've gone over that. But it was fitting, and I would have been highly surprised if they hadn't have done that.
They had to. I mean, we said that was one of our predictions, wasn't it? And a couple of weeks ago when they'd announced the panels, and we said, well, that's weird that Mark Hamill's not on it, or they're not doing a tribute to Carrie Fisher. And then the following day they announced that he was... And it had to be him, and he's great at storytelling. The only thing is that on nearly... Well, it's that three... I watched 4 panels with him in it. Yeah. And even thinking back to when we saw him, he does the same thing when he comes on every time. He does this. He goes, oh, for me. And after watching it the 4th time, you think, can't you do something a little bit different when you're coming on? Even when he was interviewed by the StarWars.com people, he came through the tunnel and he went, oh, for me. Oh, can't you just do something different? Yeah. Because the trouble is, when you're, like you say, when you're not wandering around all day and you're just sat waiting for the next panel, that's all you see.
Yeah.
And he was on a lot of panels.
Was he?
The last panel, which was his panel on his own, that Hamill himself, he pretty much lost his voice.
Right.
So he was talking very, very...
Did he bring his dog out again?
Yeah, he brought his dog out, yeah.
So with regards to the panels done by the other people, so like Anthony Daniels, Ian McDiarmid, people like that, I didn't sit and watch them all. I just watched highlights. They did a montage.
Right. Did you see the Darth Maul, the Ray Park panel?
No, I didn't.
There was something not right there.
Oh, really?
When Warwick Davis introduced him, Ray Park come out doing like a gorilla impression. Okay. So he comes out sort of going like this, and then when you've got the best seats in the house on the stage, he was going round to each of them like picking. Right. Then he sort of ran around the back of the stage, and Warwick Davis was going like this, but then he kept doing it. He did it for like 2 or 3 minutes. He stood at the front of the stage going like this, and you could see that Warwick Davis was sort of going, what do I do? Because he kept sort of laughing, and it was sort of like he did it too long.
Right.
And
why was he doing it?
I don't know.
Is he in that War of the Planet of the Apes? And it's a secret?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, there was other times when he would get up and he would start doing sort of moves and stuff, but it was sort of like, I mean, he wasn't drunk or he wasn't, you know, he wasn't slurred. He was there, but I don't know whether or not maybe it's just the adrenaline got too much for him.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, when he was doing his like Jedi training and stuff, and when someone gave him a double-edged lightsaber, fantastic. I was just watching it going, there's something not quite right here. He's lost his trolley. There's something.
Right.
But poor old Warwick just having to stand there and sort of going, as if, help me. Yeah,
so there was those, like I said, I only watched sort of snippets, of those panels, and they seemed entertaining, but I didn't bother with the Mark Hamill one because we'd seen it the year before, and what I'd read about it didn't sound as if it was much different.
It wasn't. There was some different stories.
Well, he obviously fields questions, doesn't he? So they're going to have to change a little bit.
Yeah, but it's the same sort of shtick. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic storyteller.
Oh God, yeah,
he's brilliant. A raconteur. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and he can have the. Did you see the Carrie Fisher tribute?
Yes.
Because he almost broke down at the end when he was reading. Was it a letter from him, or what? I can't remember what it was, or what he read at the.
It was like I don't want to say eulogy.
It was that kind of thing, which that was very touching. That was very touching. But yeah, I saw the Ian McDiarmid panel. I saw that one. I didn't see the Anthony Daniels one or the...
it looked like Anthony Daniels went down into the stage.
Billy D. Williams.
Stage
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, then we'll move on to the Last Jedi panel.
Yeah.
Informative. It was
informative.
Snippets, wasn't it? It was no different to what the Rogue One panel was.
Well, no.
Although we had more of a spoiler than anyone else.
Maybe, but also... I was expecting to see more than just the normal players there. You know, more than just Daisy Ridley, Harrison Ford.
It was nice to see Daisy Ridley.
It was, but like Harrison Ford and John Boyega, it was fantastic to see them. Mm. But I was thinking, are they going to, Benicio del Toro? Or I can understand they might be working, and there wasn't, apart from the trailer and the poster, there was, and obviously the behind-the-scenes photos that Rian Johnson had taken. There wasn't... I come out of there thinking, okay.
But I like the fact that he went down to the queue.
Yeah, you can't fault him for that.
He went and met every single person
every
in
single
that queue.
Which is fair enough.
That would have been lovely if somebody had done that when we were in the queue.
Yeah, but then we didn't go there at midnight. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that Gareth Edwards... and Kathleen Kennedy.
No, Kathleen Kennedy went down and gave everybody pizza at the one we were at.
Yeah. Gareth
Edwards wasn't there.
No. But yeah, I'm not saying I wasn't disappointed with the panel because it was informative. If you hear our trailer breakdown, Daisy Ridley gave a really big, fat, sort of big indication of what the relationship at the start between Rey and Luke is going to be.
Yeah, and they talked obviously about the fact that obviously there's been people that are saying, "Oh, is it Luke's daughter?" And there's all been those rumours, and the fact they speak about it on there that she doesn't recognise him when she sees him.
No.
And I think that's a big hint that he's not.
He doesn't recognise her.
Yeah,
yeah. Although Mark Hamill did sort of, he said something like, "Oh yeah, my daughter." Like that, didn't he? But he knows how to play.
He's a playful one, isn't he? So the next panel was Rebels. Now, I've not watched Rebels.
Right.
It's something I've got to catch up on. I told you, I spoke about it on here before. Clone Wars lost me a little bit. I started to watch it, just the billion episodes, and I got a bit bored of it.
Yeah.
So I do need to catch up on Rebels. Now, season 4, which they previewed there, gave the trailer as the last season.
Yeah.
I watched quite a bit of that panel. It's quite nice to hear at the end of it that they are doing another animated series.
They are, yeah.
But nobody knows what or when or why. And
there is another one that they've already announced, which is I can't remember what it's called now, but it's concentrating on the female heroes.
Right.
So it's Rey, Leia, and Ahsoka.
Right.
In different phases of the Star Wars timeline. But that's not the one that they're talking about. Yeah, there is going to be a new one. But yeah, the trailer for that looks really, really good.
Yeah,
I've got into Rebels as it has been going on. So
so that's something I'm going to enjoy sitting down and watching. I think I might just take the punt and buy the Blu-rays of it. Yeah. So there was also the announcement there of the Disney Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
The theme park where you're going to get to fly a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
It's going to be life-size AT-ATs walking
Indeed.
around.
And also...
How are they going to do that?
But it's also part of canon. Mm. It's not going to be Tatooine.
No.
It's an actual planet that is going to... And what they were saying, 'cause I watched a little bit of that panel, that they were saying that what you do changes your story when you're in that place.
Right.
So things that you do and people you interact with changes your experience to what you might do.
Right.
Decisions that you make. So it's a planet that has something to do with... It's a brand new planet,
okay,
but they're going to work out the whole... where it is in the timeline, where it is in the universe of Star Wars, which I think is a fantastic
Well, you're
idea.
going to Star Wars Identities
soon,
which I've done. I'm not going to say anything about it. We purposely didn't tell you anything about it. Want to talk to you after you've done that. But you'll see sort of familiarities of what you've spoken about when you do that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Which is very good. Look, going back to when they announced that there's going to be life-size AT-ATs, that they said they're still working out the logistics of how to make this work.
Yeah.
And you think, how the hell are they going to have life-size AT-ATs walking around?
Do you know what they're like?
Well, yeah,
Disney
of course.
Magical.
And then, so that was like the main panels. Then there was EA announcing Battlefront II.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that I'm going to look forward to because they got a proper story mode, which is something that was sorely missing out the first Battlefront. Beautiful game, but to me, play it 10, 15 minutes, it becomes boring.
That's the general consensus.
Yeah, I know a lot of people still play it online. I'm not good enough to play it online.
But then also the fact that you had to spend however much it was then to get the extra the packs and the downloadable content, which they have said that isn't going to be the case for this one.
No.
And have you seen what the storyline...
Well, it's after Return of the Jedi, isn't it?
Well, it's the story of somebody who is a trooper for the Empire. So it's from their point of view. So they believe in the cause. I think there's a fantastic shot in the trailer where they're on Endor and they're looking up and they see the Death Star blow up and it's sort of, well, what do we do now? So, but it's from all the timeline of Star Wars. So you've got Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul you saw. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Just to have that story mode of a brilliantly well-presented game is what we Star Wars gamers... Well, I can't really say I'm a Star Wars gamer because I haven't ever been impressed with a Star Wars game. Not fully.
No.
The one I had on the Wii was a bit... Meh. So anyway, there was that one, which I think is huge news. And then we'll just go to the final panel. The final panel, which is, well, it wasn't a panel really, just a celebration of the celebrations.
And I was I thought I'd watch it just in case. And I mean, the thing that was really disappointing is that they didn't even announce when or where the next celebration is going to be.
No, and that's 2 years away.
Yeah, so it was disappointing.
Some news has come out today, which I saw just before I came out. Kathleen Kennedy has said that the standalone movie will get a title in the summer.
In the summer, yeah.
So
yeah,
that's D23. Like
it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be. They're gonna save it for that.
Yeah, of course they are.
But there you go. So overall, for me, as much as we were really excited, and it was great to see, for me, it was sort of like all over after Saturday, after Saturday's panel. I do feel that just a little bit disappointed. I think.
I just think they're going to have to, and I think they know it. They're going to have to revamp it.
But then they said that last year.
Yeah,
they said that this year it was going to be different.
Too soon, too close.
Well,
too close.
Anyway.
What do you think? Did you think it was the best Star Wars celebration you've seen, or do you think it's the worst? Please do comment below. What was your favourite panel? Do let us know in the comment below. And when you do leave a comment, remember to press the like button. That's
right. And come and subscribe to our channel. You just have to click on Boba Fett's head, either now or just before or just after. And you can come and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, click on the little bell icon, and that means you'll be notified every time we release a new video.
Fabulous.
Wonderful. Fabulous. So there you go. That's episode 30 done and dusted. So thank you very much from me.
And thank you very much from me.
And may the Force be with you all.
Ways.